Hello everyone, today I have a finished object video for you. It's my pattern, paid for pattern, link down below. I'm going to tell you as much as I can and help you out as much as I can with this pattern. So we have four sizes over here: toddler, small child, adult, large adult. The gauge I got is 27 stitches by 36 grams, and I got that because I used slightly thinner yarn. Although I knitted this version of the hat with fingering weight, when you have a slightly tighter gauge, around 24 stitches. So this is a hat for fingering weight yarn. Now the yarn I used. I was looking in my stash for a yarn that I would have the same colors combinations. As you can see, I used 3. And I looked in the stash and I found this Holzgarn yarn, and it is 100% wool. It is a fingering weight, although the gauge over here, as I said, I got 27 stitches. And we're talking about 50 grams we have over here, 287 meters, which is 340 yards. So if you have 100 gram skeins, you'd probably think it's quite thin, because we're talking about 574 meters over here, or 628 yards. But I'll show you a hat in a second. I'm going to do a different yarn, so feel free to use all your leftovers. So my hat that I knitted adult size, not large, adult size, and I used 42 grams overall, so it's not that much. I needed 20 grams of main color and approximately 12 grams of the contrast colors each. However, for a fingering 400 meters yarn, my test and test said that you would need slightly more. If you're using different yarn, I would recommend you to look for approximately 30 grams of main color and 50 grams of each contrast color, just in case you don't want to check gauge. Now, so what do we have over here? It is knitted in round from the bottom up. We have a ribbing over here, then we fold the ribbing, and we're going up. I have a video how to fold the ribbing, and also I have included a video inside the pattern how to work the stitch. We have two types of stitches over here. I call it cross stitch section and open stitch section. How we achieve it? We achieve it through yarn overs and slip stitches. Fun part of this hat is that you can play with different colors, and you can individually, if you do not mind waving ends at the end, to use even more colors. You can stick to one stitch, just the cross stitch section, or you can go and play with the just open stitch sections. That gives you an opportunity to make this hat the way you want and have an individual signature of yourself. It's perfect to knit it for family members, because with the color combinations and with the stitch combination, texture combination, you can make individual hats for each member, but still keep it close that people can recognize it's kind of the same pattern. I probably shouldn't tell you needles, because the best thing is to get the gauge, but you always have to start somewhere, and I started with 3.5 millimeters, which is US size 4. And this time I thought I will not change the size needle, so I continued that and I knitted with the one size. And I did that for another 2 hats. I actually knitted another 3 hats using this pattern. I'm going to show you in a sec. So you can start with your size 4 and see how you're getting there. I always recommend after folding and then knitting maybe one section, you put it on a longer strand of yarn or a longer cord of needles and put it on the hat to see how do you feel wearing it, as everyone has different preferences in regards how fitted the hat they want to have. So again, what do you need? You need yarn, needles, and a bag. It's handy to have a bag. If you have any questions, please leave comments down below. I'll try to help you as much as I can. Let me show you other hats. The first hat that I knitted and I was playing with the old design is this one, and I'm going to record a separate video and tell you all about it. So if you're interested, stay tuned, subscribe and like this video and wait for this one. So as you could see, I just took random yarn from my stash, and more about it later. But how does it look? This is 400 meters in 100 grams, so like a standard fingering weight. And as you can see, this is the same size, the same number of stitches for an adult size. And it fits me this way. So actually, this was my first and this was my second, because I had to have in the pattern a yarn that will be the same through the whole experience of knitting, just to have it accurate. With a test knitters, thank you so much for test knitting my patterns. Check the pattern page and click the tab projects. So I knitted another one, and I kind of motivated a little bit because I wanted to skip ahead of test knitters to get to the crown section to make sure that my calculations were right. And I knitted this one. No worries, I'm going to record finished object videos about this one too, and there was a small modifications because I added a bit of an extra, I think 3 or 2, I'll double check, rounds over here to kind of speed things up. Let me see, can you spot this? Can you see it? Is that all? No. It is so much fun pattern to knit with your scraps and leftovers that I decided to hold the fingering double and knit another one, and that way, because I thicken the yarn that I was using, so basically holding a fingering weight yarn double gives you approximately and slightly thicker than DK weight, so we would say worsted, I presume. Again, I wanted to check the toddlet size by knowing that if I change the yarn and the needles that I used, I will get, with the same numbers, I'm going to get a hat that will fit an adult. So if you get this hat and you want to get something similar like this, you can definitely do this. Although with this one, I changed needle size and I used 2 different sizes. So I'm going to tell you quickly, but obviously I'm going to record finished object video about that one too. With this one, these are leftovers from my friend Diane, and she kept the information about the yarn, so I can definitely share it with you more. Well, not in this one, in the next one. Subscribe and like, and see you next one. So as you can see, it's this, and I use 2 sides of needles. I use US size 6, which is 4 millimeters, and I moved to 4.5 millimeters, which is US size 7, I'm guessing. Yes. And for this hat, I use a toddler size in the pattern, and it fits me. Hold the fingering weight double. And I hope you enjoyed this one, and thank you so much. If you're watching it now, for the few days, once I publish the pattern, there is a discount code, so check the link down below. Thank you so much for test knitting. Thank you so much for supporting this channel. Okay, I think that's all. I hope you enjoyed this one. See you next one. And as you can see, there are more videos to come. Bye. Oh, and use hashtag #shortvisithat and the hashtag with anything you knit, knitting I love. I really want to see what you're knitting too, not only me chatting and bragging what I have done. Bye.